Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back. The Bible Bistro's open. Yes, sir. Happy Labor Day, by the way. We don't close down for Labor Day. We just go right on through Labor Day because I know that there are some people who are taking a well-deserved vacation today, and they want to hear some fine 5-minute Bible study. They want to visit the Bible Bistro, and so we're opened up special on this holiday just for you. Here in America, around the world, it's just a regular day, but in America we have Labor Day, so welcome all my American listeners as we celebrate Labor Day with some 5-minute Bible study. It's fresh and delicious as always. Last week I kind of teased you with an announcement. I think it was last week. We have something special happening here at Daily Dose Radio, and that is we're now part of Message Tribes. Message Tribes is an online resource. You can go to Message Tribes and sign up and go to my Daily Dose Radio in Message Tribes. And I'm going to put that link, by the way, on our website, my-dailydose.com will be there. It'll be on Facebook and it'll be on Twitter. So you can go to Message Tribes/Daily Dose Radio, sign up, and every day you're going to receive a text alert from me on your phone, and it'll have the verse of the day, and that'll be our verse of meditation for that day. So it'll be something that'll support Daily Dose Radio. Every day you'll get the verse of the day on your mobile device, and that'll go right along with that verse for that day, or those 2 verses or 3 verses or however many we're studying that day is a point of meditation for us. So I hope you'll try it out. Check it out. That's Message Tribes/Daily Dose Radio. Today we're looking at the last section, all this week actually, the last section of Psalm 18, verses 41 through 50. And we're going to begin today talking about the prayer that God doesn't hear. So let me read for you verses 41 and 42. They cried, but there was no one to save. Unto the Lord, but he did not answer. So I will pulverize them like the dust upon the face of the wind, like the mud of the street, I will pour them out. Now here David's talking about his enemies. But the thing that I want to focus on with the few minutes that I have today is that there's a prayer God does not hear. And I'm not telling you that so that you'll doubt yourself and not pray. I would never do that. Because one of the reasons why we study the Psalms is to study how to pray and to pray better and to encourage ourselves in prayer and to be more fierce and devoted to prayer. Because that was David, and if you had nothing else but the book of Psalms, oh my, could you pray and pray powerfully? We all could, and we set it aside. That's why I think this study, verse by verse through the Psalms in 4 years, is so important. But there is a prayer here that God doesn't hear, and it is the prayer of the enemies of the Lord. Why doesn't he hear their prayer? And remember, now we're talking about the enemy. We have to go back to verse 40. David says there, you have given me the necks of my enemies. All those that hate me I will annihilate. He is annihilating the enemy because this is not just David's enemy, but it's the enemy of the people of God. And think about the enemies that David fought. The devil's man Saul and the arrogant man Absalom, even though he was David's son, still, these are not the Lord's people because they have not given themselves to the Lord. And so their prayer that they would win over David, it's not going to be answered because they're outside of God's will. And so that's the thing that God doesn't hear. He doesn't hear the prayer that's outside of his will. And it's a prayer usually that's based in pride, arrogance, hatred, anger. God's not going to hear that. How does he hear those things that he is opposed to? Remember, the very first thing that God hates is pride, the proud look. That's first on the hit parade for him, okay? So if you're praying in pride, he's not going to hear that. He's not going to hear the prayer of anger or of hatred. And if you're praying against God's people, the door is shut. So this is the prayer that he doesn't hear. And when he doesn't hear that prayer, he doesn't save. Join me again tomorrow. We're going to look at verses 43 and 44 on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.